All right, so welcome, everyone. I'm trying to see here with, I hope this don't kick us out, but I'm going to test it. Okay, so there we are. We're live on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. So you all make sure when you're coming in, say, hey, hi, hello. Look, it's been a minute, right? And so who am I, right? Carlika Katrina Basnight-Menendez. Yes, all of that. The number one Black face of women in menopause and your purpose strategist, where I support mature women, okay, walk boldly and confidently in their purpose with learning how to just say F it, right? And so for those who've been following me a long time, you already know, and you're probably thinking, F it, don't she be praying and doing all of these things? Yes, I do. But F it is faith it, face it, and fulfill it. So whatever you're believing for is going to come to pass as long as you're in alignment. And then whatever you need to face, right? Let's deal and let's heal. Let's do that internal work. And you all, this is an ongoing thing. It's not a one and done. It's an ongoing thing. Y'all see my sweat stash over here. So I'm having like a little hot flash, and it could be from this hot tea over here. I don't know, but y'all, if you out there, you know what menopause is like. You know it's more than a hot flash, but I do deal with hot flashes, okay? And so, and then fulfill it, right? The last F is fulfill it, and you can add any other F word in there that you want. Free it, whatever that looks like for you, right? Whether that's freedom, you can add that, but fulfill it. Only you can fulfill your purpose. And so that's what we are doing. And tonight we have an amazing guest with us with an amazing product, okay? And it says, keeping cool. Right? How many of us have had to try to keep cool? And I'm not just talking about from no hot summer weather. I'm talking about keeping cool from having an attitude, keeping cool because someone done pushed all the buttons with you, right? So keeping cool, but we're not even talking about that. We're talking about menopause. And you all know, look, I get too hot. Some things might get snatched off, right? So we're gonna keep it decent though. We're gonna keep it. But if I have to snatch a wig off, y'all know sometimes the hot flashes and different things, it's not just about the sweat, right? True. It can make you irritated. It can alter your mood swings it's so quick. And so our guest tonight, Miss Sheilisa, is here, and you all make sure you go and connect with her with My Freer. This is cooling jewelry, okay? But before we even get into the products, I just want her to introduce herself. I want to say thank you on this Thursday evening, you all. So if you have not hit the share button, go ahead, hit the share button, because it's going to take you like 1 or 2 seconds of your time, because if you're already up here, right? You're already up here, and I love to bring her with My Freer. This is cool. Look, she out here trying to share it.
Yeah, I'm trying. I was like, oh wow, the sound is on. Okay,
but please introduce yourself.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Sheilisa McNeal-Burgess, and I am the founder and CEO of Freer. And basically, what I did was patented a way to help you keep your cool just by putting an easy technology, which is called evaporative cooling, into a beautiful bracelet. So I'm wearing mine tonight because I was hot. And the goal was simple, to find a simple and easy way to help you keep your cool while still being cute. So, and if I had to give an analogy, because people often ask me, how does that work? You're only talking about water. Well, first of all, we're so caught up in the idea that technology has to be complicated. But when you actually get into all of the machinations of what technology encompasses, we learn that there's so many things that are technological that are actually still simple. And our technology is. And yes, it only requires water to activate. And it's the equivalent of like putting a cold bottle. If you were overheating and you put a cold bottle on your wrist or your neck, and it helps to give you like a feeling of relief. Well, I just put it in pretty jewelry.
Look. So you are Shalisa, hold your jewelry up again. Like hold you are she look,
Yeah,
she
I
gonna
think
give us a close up on it, right?
yeah,
And
this is just the
so
one I wear all the time because this is an easy one. I have a really, really pretty one,
oh
but let's see.
look,
Okay, there we
I
go.
love what she said. Cool and cute, and I'm gonna add in there comfy, right? Because I
Oh
don't know
yes,
about you all.
yes,
When it comes
comfortable.
to getting hot and different things. Hello, Jerry. So Jerry, you all has joined us on the streaming on tonight as well. And look, all these menopausal CEOs who are not even just talking about menopause, but really catering to the mature woman, right? A
Mhm.
lot of women use a lot of you see a lot using midlife, right? But I was thrown, I don't think 30 is considered midlife, not at
No,
all. I was
no.
thrown into menopause at the age of 30 due to having a total hysterectomy. And so, Shalisa, we want to hear from you. What is your why? Like, we all have it. Like, she didn't just wake up one day and was like, you know what? I want to create some cooling jewelry, right? It had to be
Yes, I
something
did. Yes, I did.
that's what she did. But there had to be a why behind
Yes.
why I even wanted to do the research, why I even wanted to look into this, right? So a lot of times we create things such as MinoCon 2022, y'all, September 16th and the 17th, right here in St. Mary, Georgia. If I wasn't going through what I was going through or had a backstory behind it, I would have said yes, number one, to God, because that was not on my agenda. Two, I would have never created Menopause and Mimosa or anything, but I have a backstory that's propelling me, that's pushing me. And so, to someone out there listening now, next year, catching the replay, make sure you put hashtag replay. There's a we normally hear people say pain, pushed from pain to purpose, right? And so, whatever your backstory is, whatever it is that you've already endured, and whatever it is that you've already went through, or even maybe going through, you are the answer to someone, right? So, this cooling jewelry is the answer
Yes.
to someone saying, "Whoo, child, I got to get cool." Because if I don't, I might get a ticket out here for taking some days off, right? Or someone, I might catch a case uh,
We
with the
don't
way
want you to
I'm
do
feeling.
that now. No, sis, don't do. Let me tell you, there's a lot of options. Please don't get a ticket. Please don't get indecent in front of the kids. Okay.
Look, drop the air down, and I let them know. Look, you might be in here freezing, but you can get more blankets. I don't know how much more clothes I can take off. I don't think y'all want me down in my birthday suit, okay? Uh, but give us a little bit of your backstory of when did this journey start for you? Because everyone's journey is different. It could be medically, surgically, or naturally. For me, it was surgically. Like I went in, I woke up, I was a postmenopausal woman, just like that, right? And I wish it was really like that easy, you all, because I did, and I went through years of pain, years of different medications, and then finally, just being told you have a couple of options here. One, you can stay in pain. Two, get a hysterectomy. Well, I had already been in pain, so let's go with the other option and have the hysterectomy. And even that journey was definitely a journey. So, Sheilisa, just share with us some of your journey, so people can get a feel of, look, it's just not a piece of jewelry. It's just not, like she said, she did wake up and say she's going to create it, but
I did.
what's the why?
So I think that, spiritually, we don't often, we are just a talented people. And I think that some of us don't always heed those urgings that we get inside that says, do this, right? Um, I too, like you, had a hysterectomy, but I was 43, I think, at the time. And I didn't actually start going into menopause until I was 46. But when I started, it was absolute misery. Like, and I was ignorant. And I say that because there was so much that I just did not know. It wasn't conversations had around me by, my mom or the elder women in my family. There was a lot of denial around it. It's like, oh, no, no, no. It's not me. No, I'm not. I haven't met that time yet. That's not, no, no, no. I know, girl. Like, I'm just hot or something like that. And so I definitely started once I started feeling it. And my funny story is, I didn't know what it was, right? I just thought I was miserable. And I was going through a lot. Like my mom had just passed, so much had happened. And but I just also just got married, and I would put a pillow between my husband and I because his body heat was making my hot flashes worse. I was very serious.
Uh, Sheilisa, he was a trigger.
He I was like, listen, Linda, if you cross this pillow, we
Don't
gonna
cross
have
the line,
problems.
bro. Don't cross the line.
And I had the window open in the wintertime, and I had the air on, and I had the blankets on, and I had my foot out, and I had my pillow for it. And like,
Real.
and there has to be a better way.
Yeah.
So literally one day in September 2016, I woke up with just two words: cooling jewels. I was like, cooling jewels. What's that? I mean, do you ever have conversations with yourself in your head? So this is a conversation I was going, it was like, cooling jewels. I said, cooling jewels. What's that? Go figure it out. And I started in 2016 with those two words and nothing else. I was not a jewelry person. I was not a technology person. I was not an engineer, but I am a problem solver. I really do love to solve problems. I think that problems just need solutions, and we don't need to talk about, the lament over the discomfort or the problem itself. It's like, okay, if we put that energy in trying to find a way to address it, because you're not going to solve menopause, right? I tell it to people all the time. We're not about to fix menopause. Since time immemorial, there were women, there was menopause, right? And the fact that we are at this stage in 2022 and the medical industry still has not given sufficient time and attention to the female anatomy in general. Let's not even just talk about menopause. Let's talk about every life stage that a woman goes through.
Mhm.
And when you think about it in that way, you're like, they're not going to solve our problems. So we have to do that. And since necessity is the mother of invention, and I was like, when you start doing the research, it was a bunch of mind blowing moments like, what? Ugh, that's
Mhm.
horrible. I learned that, we only associate menopause with hot flashes and night sweats, but there are actually 80 symptoms associated with menopause. But because women in general don't share that information, except for we talk about it in our little tight lit groups, right? We just be like, girl, was
And that's
you hot?
and Shalisa, that may be even a maybe, right? Because we
Right.
see so many women like, do not put my name in the same sentence as
No,
menopause.
they don't. No, I
And
mean,
like,
I
no.
met so many women, friends of mine, and they was like, it was like the crow, like, girl, you devil, get thee behind me. And I was like, listen, until we take back the narrative
Yeah.
of our biology, because this is a normal, natural, organic part of womanhood. So if you were born a woman, this is just a normal, natural, organic part of it. And the fact that we dread so many aspects of our life is problematic, number one. And
Very.
number two, it's also debilitating on your peace of mind and your sense of self. You're always trying to live up to these unrealistic expectations while your body is doing what it's naturally ordained to do. And so if you take back the narrative of it, if you decide, I just wanted to go through it. I didn't want to alter the biology. I didn't want to stop my hormones for doing what they needed to do. I just wanted to manage the misery. And I didn't want to look like an old maid doing it. No disrespect to old maids. I'm sorry, but I wanted to still feel like me in the process. And I think that so many women at this stage of life are just dynamic and beautiful and amazing. And we're not having the best quality of life. So if I can wear a cute bracelet and eventually a cute necklace, and it does double duty and nobody knows my business,
Yeah.
then I can still go about my day. I can still go handle my business. I can still be me. And the misery is managed to a degree that I can still function.
I
And
love
so
that.
that's
So
my
we're
why.
gonna back up just a little bit, y'all, because she didn't just gave us the whole book, right? So let's just back up just a little bit. So she said she heard these words, right?
Mhm.
Y'all, where y'all think that came from, right?
We
So
know
what
where
she
that came
said,
from, girl.
even as a problem solver.
Yes.
So y'all look, y'all know y'all getting some Jesus. Y'all already know how we do. And y'all already know y'all rock with Jesus too, so don't even play. But when we think of not moving, and Sheilisa even touched on this, not unctioning, not going with the voice, not going with the our purpose. This was her
Mhm.
ordained purpose,
Yes.
right? And so if she did not move, how many other women would not be able to say, hey, this is a resource. At least let me research it out. Let me see if this is going to benefit me. Let me see if this is going to work for me. And once again, if we don't start embracing
Yes.
the conversation, you all see my mug over here, menopause rebranded, right? We are rebranding the face of menopause. We are rebranding the narrative
Yes.
of menopause. We're rebranding the mindset of menopause. That yes, there are some symptoms, like Sheilisa said, 80 plus, right? It's a lot of,
80.
and hot flashes, you all,
It's
is
just
more
the ones that we're familiar with.
is more than hot flashes, right? And
Way
so
more.
way more. You literally have stats and you have women ready to end their lives.
Yes.
Let me just let
True.
that sit for a minute, because a lot of times, with us not wanting to have the discussions, with us
Yes.
not wanting to, you know, have anything to do with this is the thing. We're not all going to have breast cancer. We're not all going to go through a domestic violence situation. One thing for sure, we're all
Okay.
going to go through menopause, and whatever your journey looks like, that's going to be your journey. But understanding what it is, understanding that there are resources, understanding that there are options. This is why I'm passionate about it, because I had no options presented to me. I had no guidance. I had no support. Definitely didn't have any products. Definitely didn't have anyone saying, girl, look, you need to maybe read on to this. The doctors wasn't understanding. They're literally pushing you to the side as if something is wrong with you, as if you're going.
Well, or can I just stop you for a second, Carlika? What they do, also depending on the bedside manner of the doctor that you have, right? So many of them feel like, let's fix the problem medicinally,
Yeah.
and that's to promote HRT. So maybe HRT works for some women, but it also has a slew of side effects. So it's just like when you hear about those new drugs and they go, and the side effects include thoughts of suicide. Like you start hearing the side effects and you go, like, I'm not sure that I need to risk all of that just to take care of this.
I'll say
And
this,
that is what the
I think
problem
people
is.
need to do, first of all, consult your medical professionals. And when I
Yes,
say medical
absolutely.
professionals, I'm not just talking about your primary care doctor. That may be a therapist, because you have to dig a little deeper into your medical history to understand what's even going on with you biologically, mentally, and
Yes.
everything.
You
And
should get tested, right? You
for
should get
your
tested to
part,
see where you are.
do your research, right?
Absolutely.
Do your own, so that you can go to these professionals, because I'm thankful for the professionals, right? Go to them so that you can have an informed conversation. Because
Right.
at the end of the day, you may be spending 15, maybe, like Sheilisa said, depending on the bedside manner, maybe 25, and that might be pushing it. Okay, that might be 25 minutes, but we're with our bodies 24/7. So when you're having these changes in your sleep, when you're having these changes
Yes.
um in in whatever that may look like, that could be changes your sleep, that could be changes in odor, that can be changes in your bowels, that could be whatever
So many
bodily system.
things, and it all affects your functionality.
Thank
And
you.
so we are, and because we aren't aware of all of the symptoms, we attribute the symptoms that we're experiencing to other things, right? By the time you get to what is known as midlife, you could be empty nesting, you could
Yeah.
be divorcing, you can be having, trials or changes in your career path. And so, and it might be a very stressful time. So
Yeah.
instead of associating these biological things with the actual biological function that's causing them, we just attribute it to the exterior forces. And if we had more knowledge, if women had more knowledge about it, if men had more knowledge about it, I bet you we would save a bunch of marriages, right? Because at this time, men are going through menopause, women are going through menopause, and because there's no understanding, there can't be compassion and empathy. But
There
I
needs to
think
be
if
communication. The
right,
communication.
but But if a woman can't explain to herself
Right.
because she doesn't understand, she can't explain to her
Can't
partner,
articulate.
and if there was more widespread knowledge about it in general, then
Yeah.
men might understand she's not crazy. If she's outside of herself, she can't help it right now. Her
Yeah.
hormones are doing things that they're designed to do. This is just like a byproduct. But if you just bear with her and make it a little bit easier, she's actually going to come out of this on the other side. She can come out even a better person, better mindset, because
Yeah.
she was supported through it. We are not
That
supported
right
through
there, that's
our
the key
life
word.
changes.
That's the
Right.
key word, support. And that's in the workplace,
Yes.
that's in our homes, that's someone
Everywhere.
for another. Just having that support. Someone sent me a quote today, said, if men went through menopause, there'd be a clinic in every suburb. If
Oh
you
my
all
God.
can
A clinic in every girl, there would be one on every block. What you talking about? Every suburb.
look,
They would be in the train station. They would be in the bar. Therapy would be a huge regular thing. Are you kidding me? It
it'll
would
be
be
so many
everywhere.
commercials.
All the commercials would be like, if you're experiencing these symptoms, we
Right.
have something for you. We're
Commercial
here to
break,
support
commercial break,
you.
commercial break. You'll be like, oh my God. Oh my, let's hop over to some of these comments. Ladies, if you have not hit the share button, we're just getting started into this conversation. And as you can see, both of us are passionate. We have women up here who are passionate about maturing because look, we don't just want you to understand what you may think is a miserable time in your life, because it doesn't have to be a miserable time altogether. But Sheilisa said it, the transitions, right? If you all just are tuning in, she mentioned that when she started this transition, her mother had passed away, all of these things, right? So we have grief. She mentioned empty nesting, right? That's even grief is not always the death of someone. It could be the loss
No.
of a job. It could be children moving out. You're in this new transition. You're in this new phase of your life. It may be going from being married X amount of years to being divorced, transition, or it could be,
You
oh
have
my
to
God, I'm
redefine
40 something
yourself.
years old
Right.
and I'm now just getting married, or I'm not married. So God, where my husband at again, right? All of these things. And so let's hop to some of these comments right now, because y'all blowing the comment section all up. Jerry says the narratives must change so as to embrace this natural process of being a woman. How many of you I'm glad to be a woman. I have no regrets of being a woman. I'm excited about my womanhood in this stage and transitions of my life. I feel more fierce. I'm more empowered. I don't give a doggone about so many things, right? You think about your 20-year-old self, you think about your 40-plus-year-old self, and then we're taking better care of ourselves. Shamika, I call her the juice queen, you are, right? She gonna get your whole body together with all the natural juices for your immune system. Whatever you're looking for, this is the person to go to. She said, I love this. And let's see, Wendy, what's going on, Wendy? Absolutely. And the doctors are not listening. Let me say this, you can fire your doctor. Okay, Jerry
Yes.
says you got that right. Look, it's all in our mind. They don't take us seriously. When you all,
They
we have to
don't.
take ourselves seriously first so that we can go in there with confidence to speak up, to say, look, all of our biological systems are not designed, they don't function the same way. So I'm not a guinea pig. You just can't say, try this, try that, and let's just see trial and error to see what works. They don't waste any time fixing problems for men, but they drag their feet when it comes.
I don't even think that it's about dragging their feet. I honestly think that they don't consider the magnitude of our health. I mean, it's not priority when you think about it. So diseases are priority, not women, but diseases are priority. If there is some kind of autoimmune system or a cancer, all of those are things that are getting the attention, but they're not specific to gender, right? You see a lot more advertisements for prostate cancer than you do for anything like uterine cancer is huge.
It
Like,
is.
so we hear a lot about breast cancer, but we don't hear a lot about uterine cancer. Mm-hmm. And then I want you to think about every life stage that a woman goes through. When she goes through her menses, it's not a positive experience. It's not considered positive. Like, the minute you get your period, you start getting a bunch of admonishments about what you can't do. Like, don't do this and don't do that. Don't do this. Like, it becomes like pressure, right? As opposed to, sweetheart, you're blossoming. This means that you're going to the next stage in evolution of womanhood. This is what it means. But we make it a negative thing. Then when you get to mommyhood, Now you got a mom bod, right? Now you're less desirable. And now you're no longer snatched. So now you got women laying on tables getting BBLs and all those other things, looking a hot mess, I might say. And it's not to be disrespectful
Right.
of plastic surgery. I think you should do whatever you need to do to make you feel good about yourself. It's just that we want it so badly. Sometimes we go to places that are not in our best interest, and we are harmed by that, right?
Yeah.
It's not like a real, plastic surgeon who's taking into account your body, your look, whatever, which is what they really do. But you're trying to get yourself back to a place where you feel beautiful and acceptable, because now you've been told once you're a mom and that's it. And that's not all that defines you.
Yeah.
And then God forbid you get to menopause. Now you old and dried up like a little old witchy poo, and don't
Right.
nobody want you. And I'm like, that is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Do you see how dynamically beautiful women of a certain age are, and how many amazing things they're doing? And they're running companies, they're running countries, they are here like running businesses, they are doing amazing things. And yet and still the narrative around this is that you are no longer relevant. So it is up to us to redefine this
I love
narrative
that you
and to
said that,
take it
because
back.
that's what a lot of people feel. They feel at this stage sometimes invisible, but you have the power to determine how I'm going to age, right?
Yeah.
And we don't have to look at aging as such a bad thing. I don't look at it
I
as a
think
bad
it's
thing.
amazing.
And if you all haven't Googled, go ahead and Google, right? Most of us as women of color, and when I say women of color, I'm not just talking about Black women, right? Women of color, we're not represented. We don't look like the pictures, okay? Because my skin is not wrinkly. My skin is like, no, I don't look old. I always get people asking if me and my daughter sisters, okay? So I know I don't look old, but it is about how you treat your body as well.
Right.
So
Right.
where they say black don't crack, that's a lie. Like, I don't know where y'all believe in that mess from. That's a lie from pits of hell, okay? Like,
so I think that it comes from, there are some people that you look at them and you be like, there's no way you're your age, right? And so many of us are afraid to tell our age. And I always feel like it's a badge of honor. Like, if you get to a certain age, you have reached it, and you say you had some kids. Like, so I probably tell everybody I'm 56, but nobody believes that, right? They don't look at me and think 56. They just looking at me like, nah, you and your daughter are definitely sisters. And I'm like, no, first of all, nobody goes around claiming children that they didn't give birth to, right? You're not going to be around like this big child, this big person here is my child. So it has everything to do with the melanin, the oil content, and the fact that we know that, hey, we went through enough to be able to preserve well.
And our lifestyle, right?
Exactly.
Your lifestyle, your daily, and I'm not talking about a one and done, a one hit wonder. I'm talking about your daily lifestyle. How are you treating your skin? How are you treating what you put inside of your body? Whether that's food, whether that's TV, whether that's what you're hearing, whether that's your company, because people can drain you to the point that you're not feeling yourself because of your environment and everything. So how you're treating yourself. Look, Jerry just turned 53, honey. Baddie, baddie, baddie. That's all I can say.
Yes.
Birthday, but 53, right? I'm not ashamed to say my age, right? I am proud. And in this day and time, okay, with everything that's going on in the world all of the time.
Yes.
I love what Jerry said here. You have to be living to experience aging.
And it's a gift. It is a gift. And today, somebody who was 12 didn't wake up. Think about that, Carlika, right? Yeah. Somebody's baby went to sleep and didn't wake up. Wouldn't they have been happy to get that baby to 53, right? And so we have to think about that all the time when it's so crazy how women who are aging beautifully and gracefully, and even if they aren't, you're sort of ostracized for it. But I'm like, would you rather that 20-year-old who died get to be my age? Wouldn't that have been his parents or her parents' preference? What about that baby that didn't wake up? Wouldn't you have wished they got to be this age? Right. So aging is a gift, and how you age is your decision.
It is. And the same way with treatment plans and anything. Wendy said, yes, I'm proud of my age. I couldn't wait to ask for my senior benefits. People looking at me. I would say like my ID. I love it, but that's the empowering part of all of these life's transitions, right? Menopause is nothing but a transition.
Transition, right?
It's a transition that we can feel empowered. You can, number one, be educated. Get the education,
Yes.
learn the resources, learn your body, right? Because when we think of our first period and everything, right? Like you said, the anatomy of our body and all of these things, y'all, we was told so many wrong terminologies and everything, or certain words that people didn't want you to say, and it's like, this is just your body, this is anatomy. Like we quote, we are fearfully and wonderfully made, but do you really believe that? If you really believe that you're fearfully and wonderfully made, number one, you're going to be a good steward over your body. And when we speak of your
Right.
body, we're talking about
Right.
mentally, physically, emotionally. Get the
Yes.
therapy, get the counseling, let go of toxic people, change your language, watch your words, right? Which in turn, you watching your words and your thoughts, it can propel your actions, right? And so when we're mindful of all of those things, this is what help us keep cool too. Okay.
Yes, that's true.
This is what help us keep cool on so many facets and so many realms of our life. And so, Sheilisa, just tell everyone how people can connect with you, where they can find the jewelry. Ladies, do your research, right? Don't talk about support, be supportive. And if you're saying, look, it may not be for you, but what is it going to cost you to share it with someone else? Nothing.
I definitely feel that way. We are actually about to start a campaign in a couple of days, but my website is myfria.com. So it's MYFRIA, myfria.com. And our goal right now, so we just, have been, we debuted our product last year. So we've only been on the market for a year. But in that time, we've gotten such great feedback, good and bad, right? The good thing is like we understand how it works really well for those it works well for, but then the feedback for those who said, hey, I didn't feel it the way I wanted to. That's what we allowed us to iterate and to go in and to make it even better. So everybody's support is really, because I want everybody to know, like, entrepreneurship is not for the faint of heart. Like, if you are not meant, if you can't take no's, if you give up anything on really quickly, this is not for you because this is hard.
Look, it's definitely working. I love that the no's help us to tweak things, right? If we don't,
It
look,
does.
y'all, you never get the product out there, if you never write the book, if you never start the business, then you won't even know what you need to tweak. You got to have something to
Right.
work with so you can go
You
in
do.
and make those changes, right? We look at Coca-Cola. All of these companies have had to reinvent and tweak some things
Yes.
and add
And
something
tweak.
to the market and take
Yes.
something away and make it better. It's like baking a cake, right? You all, I still don't know how to make a good pound cake. Okay. I'm putting all my business out there. I don't know how to make a good pound cake. So I don't even try, right? I know the go-to people that my Aunt Melissa, I be like, when I'm in town in Virginia, she know I want me a pound cake there and I want one to go. I want one to go, right? Because I know I don't have to worry about the ingredients and different things. But until it's like making that sweet potato pie, you got to keep adding whatever it is that you want to add it. Or for those, your granola, whatever it is that you make. The point is you add ingredients, you add a little more of this, you take that out until you get it. And then we're
Yeah.
doing that market research, right? Everyone's
That's
not,
what it is.
and that's what it is. Okay, that didn't work. Let's see how we can go back in and take constructive criticism and those suggestions just to make it better. Because guess what? The product just not for Sheilisa. She might be repping her brand, but
I
she
didn't even I
about
didn't even do it for me. Like by the time I started really working on it, my symptoms had started to sort of ebb, right? But I did know that women, millions of women around the world, did not have a bunch of options. So I'm not one of those people that gets caught up with the word competition, right? Are there other products on the market? There are. But are there enough? If you think that right now there's 7.8 billion people on the face of this world, earth, right? And Amazon is a multi-billion-dollar company, but they only get 197 million customers a day, which means there are 7.6 billion people left. So I don't need the whole market. if I get a nice niche of people who say, "Hey, I really love this. This really works for me," and then it allows us to be able to do the other things that we want to do, which is the education aspect. I'm a natural teacher. I'm an adjunct at NYU too, and I always love imparting information because I think if you have information, you can make more informed decisions. And then building of a community, because as many menopause groups as I've been in, I find that lots of women just need some place to vent, but I feel like you need some place to get knowledge, right? And then to know that you're not in this alone. So connecting with Carlika was amazing because we had so many commonalities. I don't know her, she don't know me, but we are women. We are women of color, and that doesn't eliminate anybody else, because the truth about menopause is it is no respecter of anything,
None.
ethnicity, culture, spices in your food. It does not care. It is coming for you. And that to me is what gives us solidarity in this. It's not racial at all. It's like biological. So if we could support each other through this period, we might actually change the way we experience it and watch what happens for generations to come. So I definitely didn't do it for me. I was being obedient to the spirit that told me to do
Amen.
it. But more importantly, I just really wanted to create something that was going to benefit the masses. And then not just menopausal women, because overheating is an issue globally. Like every year, 5 million people die from
Right.
overheating. And so if my product could help to cut that number down some, then that's like a cherry on top, right? So the whole thing was meant to be beneficial to others.
I love it, you all. So the website is up there, www.myfreya.com. Make sure you all go check it out. Make sure you connect with her on social media as well. And then whatever you do, keep cool, right? I don't know where, drop where you all are, where you're located at, because I know here in Georgia, Southeast Georgia at that, the winter is really not winter to me. Okay. But you understand a hot flash, you all, or anything menopausal symptoms, it could be 10 degrees outside. And if you're having a hot flash, you're having a hot flash. And it doesn't matter how cold it is outside. Or, and you're right, Sheilisa, the heat, exhaustion, and getting overheated is so real. I've experienced that a couple of times myself. And I literally feel like I'm going to pass out. Nausea, dizziness, all of the things. And so, ladies, you have to know your body so you can figure out what's going to be the best solution for you. What is going to be the best treatment plan for you? I'm not here to tell anyone, don't get this, don't get that. You know your body, and you need to consult your medical team to understand, and dig deep into your medical history as well, right? Because with hormonal imbalance, you can experience some depression. You can, with just the transitions in life. Life itself.
Yeah, you just feel different about yourself. Like, I noticed that women, if they start gaining weight at this time because of the hormonal imbalance, at the end of the day, it changes how you feel about you. And women, to me, take on an extra burden of other people's problems, all the time. So if you add ours on top of the burden that we are already carrying, it's a very heavy weight to bear. And so I feel like, ladies, we have to lift each other up, and we have to lift ourselves up off this burden, and into thinking that this is abnormal. It's completely normal. It's a normal thing. Like, if we normalize it, we can stop dreading it. If we normalize it, we can stop hating it. If we normalize it, we can stop running from it. There's nothing. It doesn't mean you're old. It just means that you are maturing to that next stage. And I always say it's freedom, right? Free, like no more periods. That's freedom to me. Okay,
girl, that makes you want to do cartwheels in the church. Okay,
exactly. that was the best thing ever. They didn't have to tell you nothing else. Like, wait. So I'm not gonna have no more periods.
Say less.
Like, what?
Say less.
Exactly. Like, it's freedom. So if we change the way we think about it, we can change the experience that we're having. And then we can educate our daughters and our granddaughters so that they are not in ignorance like we were, and they can have a better experience. And maybe they can contribute to even more options going forward. And that, to me, is how we move the needle forward and create community and create solutions. That's how we work together and do this.
And I love that. And look, because I'm telling y'all, like, my sons, They are highly aware because they're part of my support system, right?
Right.
They're part of the support system. So always check your support system. Number one, if you don't take nothing else from this conversation, because you may be up here like, I'm not a menopausal woman. Eventually you will be, right? The more you know now, I'm telling you, the better off
It's going to be
you will
better,
be,
right?
right? Because you know the options. You go back and be like, you know what? I heard a conversation. Let me go over here to YouTube. Let me go over here. Let me go to, what was it? My Freya, right? Let me go over here and find something because I need something. And then making sure you're able, once you understand, then you're able to communicate what it is that you need during this transition, right? Because I'm not the same 20-year-old, right? Once I had a hysterectomy at 30, I wasn't the same 30-year-old. I'm 42. I'm not the same 42-year-old. So we're forever evolving. We're forever going through life's transitions. And some of them, we don't know what they may be or when it may occur, but understand that you have community, you have options, you have support, you have resources. If you all have any questions, you can DM either one of us. You can send an
Yeah,
email,
absolutely.
get
Please
in
do.
contact and have the conversations. I don't want anyone to feel like I felt alone doing
Yeah,
all of
no.
this research and YouTube and Googling and all of these things, trying to find some answers to help myself, right? And so get connected. That's what we're here for. Get connected. So make sure you follow Sheilisa. Sheilisa, what's the best or your social media platform?
So either or, they can do us on Facebook. At Facebook is Freya Keep Your Cool, and on Instagram is at Freya Jewelry, at Freya underscore jewelry. But if you go to our website, myfreya.com, you can find all our social handles. You can send an email. Trust me, I'm gonna be the one to get it. And I try really hard to be very responsive. Like I said, we're about to run a campaign, so if anybody is interested in getting a bracelet, I will give you a discount code that's going to be live in about another 4 or 5 days. And it'll come with free shipping too. So it's definitely going to be worth it.
Okay.
So
So
yeah,
get
I'm
connected.
definitely willing to do that because we're about to start the campaign anyway. I just want to make it easier for folks to get yours and then be a part of our community, right? Because your feedback helps us to iterate. And I remember when I first started this, as a Black woman, entrepreneur and startup founder, I didn't think I was going to get a second chance to make a good first impression. So it took me like 6 years to even get something to bring to market because I kept trying to make sure it was as great as it could be, at that time. And I then finally my logic came back and I was like, well, the Apple phone, 20 that y'all have now is not the same as Apple One, right? But I didn't think of it like that at the time. I was just thinking that if I'm not great out the gate, it's not going to have the potential to have the success I wanted to have, but also the benefit that I wanted to have for the people that it was made for and created for. So I love having conversations with people. I always use it. I use y'all quotes in our social media posts and stuff. So please feel free to reach out.
Look, and that is amazing. So we want to say congratulations to you, number one, for being obedient and then just walking this thing out. You all, like I said, if you don't take nothing, get started. Whatever that start is for you,
Yes.
go ahead. You can make as many tweaks along the way. But if you never get started, if you never get the blueprint, if you never start the strategy, you won't even know what's going to take place. You won't even know what needs to be changed or what is going great. And so get started. Go ahead. Yes, Jerry says we can always launch new and improved products. Exactly. We can always do the tweaks, but we have to get started. And so, with
You
that
have to
being
get
said,
started.
Sheilisa, thank you, thank you, thank you. For those who tuned in, we want to say thank you for being engaged.
Thank you so
All of
much.
your comments, all of your love. You all drop F it in the chat, drop F it in the comments. It's just F it, right? And that's what Sheilisa did. She said, just F it. I'm going to faith it. I'm going to face it. And I'm going to fulfill my purpose because no one else can do it for me. And so just type F it, drop that in the comments. That's how we like to end because that's what we're saying it every day. It's a whole movement. It's a whole attitude, F it, that I'm going after it. I'm going to do what God has told me to do. If you all go back to one of my posts that I made today, it's a long post, but it's going to bless you. Go back and check that out where I got my hands up, okay? Because you got to surrender. You just got to move yourself out the way and say, you know what? I'm going to do it. And I don't have all the moving pieces. I don't have all the puzzle pieces, but I'm going to do it. And so that's what we're doing. One conversation at a time, one invention at a time, whatever it takes. for us to be educated and empowered during these life transitions. I see you all dropping those efforts in there. Faith it, face it, and fulfill it. I got to repeat that, y'all, because don't inbox me talking about, but she be talking about Jesus and do. Um, so remember, rebrand in menopause. So when you change your perspective, you change your life. Let me say that one more time. When you change your perspective, you change your life. Don't forget, MenoCon 2022, you all, we're literally days away. Jesus. If you're not attending or anything, all I'm asking, share it out. Say a prayer, right? I've been under heavy attacks. I mean, heavy attacks. But I know this is the will of God and it is marvelous in his sight. We even have virtual seats as well. And so if you're like, I'm not outside yet, y'all, I'm not outside, then you can join us right from the comfort of your bedroom, your couch, your kitchen table, whatever floats your boat. But go to www. Let me put it up for you all really, really quick. If you go to www.menocon.com, all of the information is there. We have some amazing speakers, all of the things, right? And so we already have the dates for 2023. Right? We already have dates for 2023. So join us September 16th and 17th, and we're doing our spiritual wellness. It is the ultimate menopause and women's wellness conference. Yes, 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 the first of its kind. And I'm excited what God is going to do in us from the inside out, the inside out, because that's where it starts. So you all, make sure you're connecting with Sheilisa. Make sure you visit myfreya.com. I'm going to put that up there one more time so you all can get that information. To those who have shared the video, shared this broadcasting out, make sure you tag me in it because I will be entering your names. I'm going to enter all of your names as well in an opportunity to win tickets for MenoCon as well. And that may be virtual or in person, but we are going to, that's our gift to you, just for taking time out of your busy schedule to say, you know what, let me see what these women up here talking about, right?
Yeah.
And thank you, thank you, thank you. And make sure you tag me in it, right? Share this broadcast or share a flyer, a graphic, whatever, share something. Okay. You don't know what someone been praying for. You don't know what someone may need. And so with that being said, you all have an amazing evening. I don't know if you're going to eat dinner, go to sleep, whatever that looks like. Stay prayerful, stay blessed, and whatever you do, keep your cool. It's your girl, Carlika Basnight-Menendez. Yes, all of that. And I will talk to you all soon. Be blessed.
Thank you so much for having me, Carlika. I know this is going to be a blessed conference. And I know that everything God does through us is purposeful. And when we are obedient, obedience is rewarded. Thank you, all the ladies who shared with us tonight and who joined us tonight. Really appreciate it. Any of your support, any words, always appreciate it. And then just the ability to give back as well. So thank you for having me tonight.
Thank you. Look, this is the first of many, y'all. She stuck with me. She don't even realize it. Okay? Wendy, you better let her know, right? She's stuck unless she don't want to be. Okay.
No, I thought this was beautiful, girl. I was like, ooh, I'm looking for my tribe, and I keep finding it. God is like, putting the right people in place, and it's a blessing to have that because this is like a lonely journey sometimes. So I definitely feel like, thank you. I if I get to serve and help you, thank you.
Divine alignment, you all, divine alignment. But I ain't up here to preach to y'all tonight. Look, divine alignment. Let that marinate in your soul and your mind when you go into bed. Divine alignment. I am going to say this for the month of September. One thing that God spoke to me yesterday and today was that this is definitely a month of strategic setup, where he's strategically setting things up that we have to be in tune. So if you feel like you're not in tune, go ahead and fine tune your ears. And how do you do that? Getting in your word, fast and praying, worshiping, all of those things, because this is a strategic setup. Some of us have been feeling like Job. Some of us have been going through so much in our life that I ain't even talking about menopause, other health issues, all these things, life and family and all the things. But I want to encourage you before we get off of here, right, that this is strategic setup. So pray and ask Holy Spirit for strategy. And then when he give you the strategy, be obedient, right? Don't come with 1,001 questions. Just listen. And in this season right now, for the month of September, it is very imperative that we listen.
Mm-hmm.
Listen for the strategy. God is giving the confirmation. Some of us have already had the confirmation 10, 20 times. And he like, look, now I just need you to go forth. But he's given us strategic strategy for this month. It is a strategic setup. So whatever you've been facing, I'm telling you, don't give up, because you're like right there at the brink of your next space and place. So don't give up. You may feel like throwing in the towel. You may have screamed. You might have threw something at the wall. You might have had broke down crying, all other things. How do I know? Because that was me the other day. Like literally, you all know I'm very transparent. Literally the other day, and God was like, strategic setup, strategic setup. So don't get weary in your well doing. Keep going. Keep going. Let me say that again. Keep going. And you have support. You're not on this journey by yourself. Understand that we are praying for you and we are pushing you, and we're ready to celebrate you too. So I'm gonna go ahead and tell y'all congratulations in advance. Congratulations for the new opportunity. Congratulations for the doors being open. Congratulations for more peace and joy in your life. Congratulations for restoration and rejuvenation in your body and in your family. So congratulations. Y'all go ahead and encourage another sister and tell her, congratulations, girl. You got this. And understand that God will never leave us nor forsake us. You all, I'm telling you. I put on my post today 3 things, because I had to repent for being disobedient, not really fully walking out the purpose that he has for my life. Number 1, as a prophet. Number 2, as a midwife, and a purpose, one that's pushing mature women to go ahead from bearing to birthing. And then 3, just full out with menopause, right? Full out in those 3 areas. So I had to repent. So if you need to repent, go ahead and repent and say, God, please, forgive me for being disobedient and not trusting you 100%. Right? I did it. I felt freer, and I'm like, okay, hands up. Y'all go check that post out. Make sure you share this out. But I pray that this has been a blessing for you on different levels, right? Menopause is a spiritual level as well, but we won't even get into that.
Yeah,
Right?
it is.
But it is. Till the next time, y'all, peace out.
Good night, everybody.